Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is gonna have to do impromptu coming to you. We're here back at home. By the time you guys watch this video, I'll be back in Florida and I will have my microphone, I'll have all my technology. But it's Monday. We saw the conference championships yesterday. AFC, NFC, New England versus Seattle is going to be the Super Bowl. And it's Monday. And yesterday was all these football games, and I wanted to talk about it, but I've got none of my equipment other than this mini microphone, this light that I think is like soft lighting, and my iPhone. I'll talk about the microphone in a second here before we lose everybody, but I'm really happy. I'm very proud of the Seattle Seahawks, and I went back. I feel so good about this because I hate opinions are so complicated. Like Mina Kimes, for example, I keep seeing her on Twitter because she famously said before free agency started that the Seattle Seahawks were going to regret giving up Geno Smith. And it was before the Sam Darnold was even a member of the Seattle Seahawks. But Mina Kimes has been getting made fun of all freaking season for saying the Seattle Seahawks should have kept Geno Smith. I said at the beginning, the eve of opening day for the NFL, I said on Twitter, the Seattle Seahawks will win the Super Bowl. And so opinions are I'm not Mina Kimes. Nobody cares if I'm right or wrong. That's actually what's so interesting is nobody really cares if you're right or wrong. But I feel so happy because I got my Seattle Seahawks prediction right. So I feel vindicated, and especially the Los Angeles Rams victory, the team where Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions against, where they just barely beat them in overtime like a month ago on a crazy 2-point conversion. Zach Charbonnet, very highly critiqued officiating moment, and basically their first 2 games in the division that they played in the regular season were absolute cinema, and this was absolute cinema. There were no points scored in the fourth quarter, and I think that is fascinating because the whole season, or I should say the whole playoffs, has been the fourth quarter is where so much happens. So congratulations to the Seahawks. We're going to talk about it a little bit. But before we do, welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this video, it means the microphone is actually working. I made a Dolphins video about Jeff Hafley being their head coach right before I left on this trip on Friday. The microphone was horrible. I uploaded it anyways. 100 people watched it. I feel so bad, and hopefully this microphone sounds good. But the good news is when I get back to Florida, like I said, by the time you watch this video, I'll be back in Florida. There might be more videos later today, but I highly doubt it. I'll have my actual microphone, so we will officially be back. But welcome back, or welcome. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. We are trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of January. And even though these technical difficulties have not let us really record any videos, I still think we're going to get it. So my laptop's right behind my phone. And I just kind of realized that I should probably not touch my laptop so my phone doesn't fall. But I wanted to say a few things because that game was wild. The special teams was the make or break. That was what won the football game for the Seattle Seahawks. That's what lost the game for the Rams. And I'm actually going to pick this up a little bit. Oh, I just realized I needed 2 hands. Never mind. So I'll just sit here and I'll talk about this football game off the top of my head. So 2 things I noticed. I made a Seahawks video over on Will Upton yesterday. And 2 things I noticed. Well, first off was the obvious that we just mentioned, the special teams recovery from Derek Young, where, what was the joke? I think they said they compared the Ram kick returner to a scuba diver because, or maybe just a diver, because I think when you dive, you kind of fall back like that. Unbelievable. I could not believe it. The Seahawks, what was interesting about the game is, the announcers were saying, what was it, Tom Brady? The Seahawks threw a huge deep pass to JSN for like 40 yards or whatever it was with like 40 seconds left in the first half. And the Seahawks went on a couple of plays after that and threw it to JSN for a touchdown. And it gave them a 17-13 lead. And the announcers were like, that really sucks. They were talking about, the scoring change. And I'm kind of confusing myself right now, so it doesn't really matter. But Tom Brady and I feel like we're saying that, Los Angeles played a really good first half and they are down 4 even though they should have been up by a few. But I felt like the first half was essentially, to summarize it, because sorry, this is a little confusing. I feel like Seattle was a little bit better the entire football game. Whether we're talking about the first quarter where they had a lead, whether we're talking about the second quarter where the Rams outscored them, and they even, the Rams outscored Seattle 10-0 all the way up until that final first half touchdown. So, momentum was kind of shifting, but I still felt like Seattle was the better football team. And then in the third quarter, both teams were scoring, both offenses were going. You saw like 4 plays, 80 yards, whatever Matt Stafford did, where Devontae Adams caught a touchdown and shushed the crowd. It was a really fun third quarter, but I still felt like, even if the Rams had a 4-play, 70-yard drive or whatever it is, even if they didn't botch that kick return, I just felt like Seattle was still the better team. And I was really surprised to see there was no fourth quarter scoring. That is so shocking to me. But the real difference maker in this game that I keep trying to get to, because it's pretty much even all around. Passing, 365 to 321. I guess rushing, not really. 114 Rams, only 75 for the Seahawks. What I noticed was third down efficiency. They had 7 of 13 on third down, Seattle, and Los Angeles went just 1 of 8 on third down. And that was the huge difference maker was, even like the fourth down stop, Devin Witherspoon, who had a really bad football game, came through with like 4 minutes left. The Rams had the ball on the 5-yard line, whatever it is. Threw a little slanter on 4th and goal, whatever it was, and Witherspoon got the pass breakup. And there were like 3 plays prior in the game, the 3-4 quarters before that, where I saw Devin Witherspoon like fall on the ground and give up like a 20-plus yard passing play. So the resiliency, the defense gave up 479 yards of offense. They gave up 365 yards of passing. But they did not break. They certainly did not break when they needed to get stops, whether it was third and goal or third down or it was in the red zone. This defense, the pass rush wasn't really there. They weren't really stopping the run. And they just got the stops when they had to. So I thought they looked like the better team. I knew they were the better team. It's evident in the number 1 seed. The number 1, they won the NFC West. They won the NFC. They got the first round bye. This game's played in Seattle for a reason. But I'm sure for Seahawks fans, there was some concern deep below you, like, shoot, it's Matt Stafford. I got a couple of comments. I noticed a couple of comments on my Seahawks video last night where there were some Seahawks fans saying, like, man, that fourth quarter was that was a stressful final 6 minutes of that football game. So they got it done, and now they're going to be playing the New England Patriots, which man, Jarrett Stidham, after his first drive, and he settles in, and he scores a touchdown, and the Denver Broncos are up 7-0, I really thought, damn, is this about to happen? Are the Denver Broncos about to win this game with Jarrett Stidham? And unfortunately for them, they did not hold through. And I would have preferred the Denver Broncos to be playing Seattle in the Super Bowl as far as a fan standpoint, but that was more Bo Nix oriented. And as much as I love the Denver Broncos fan base, and they had a heck of a season, and I wish them the best of luck, I do want to see a healthy quarterback play in the Super Bowl, or this, I should say, like the starter. I want the starting quarterback to play in the football game. So Drake May versus Sam Darnold, one of those two quarterbacks is going to have a Super Bowl ring. And if I told you that at the start of the season, you would have called me crazy. And who wouldn't? Drake May versus Sam Darnold Super Bowl. That's awesome. So Santa Clara, San Francisco, February 8th, if I'm not mistaken, because of all the freaking commercials I keep seeing. And yeah, Mike McDonald won that coaching matchup. I still think he is the best coach in the National Football League. So, folks, I'll wrap this up. I hate the lighting. I hate the lighting of it, but hopefully you watch this video because that means the microphone worked. So, thank you for watching. I had to make a YouTube video talking football. And subscribe if you haven't already. We're like 15-ish subscribers away from our goal of 100. And stay tuned for Tuesday, January 27th. We will be back in business on this channel. And yeah, let me know your thoughts from the Seahawks game or any thoughts on the Super Bowl. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.